throws the friggin' TV, throws the brick through the window. Other people throw the brick through the window because usually it's kids, or again, nowadays, somebody who's actually paid to do stuff like that. Remember what they did? What was it? It was an auto parts store. It was a guy in a mask, and they were like, "That dude's a cop. That dude's a cop." And he ran away when everybody's camera came out because he was trying to get them to burn down the store. There are people out there. Remember, FBI had what, 20 something people? They can't show you the internal video from January 6th.
What's up, everybody? This is going to be episode 8 of Locked, Cocked, and Unfiltered with my host, Tony Simone and Clayton Slotlicker. And then we have, a few guests in the house. We've got Alabama Black Snake in the house.
So, brother Tubuku.
I swear I've never... See? Look, they can remake Indiana Jones now.
Starring Rick Ross.
You'd be perfect for it.
Disney. They changed the race of everybody.
Oh, nice.
Chicago Jones coming at you.
Oh, this episode, and let's not forget, this episode is sponsored and brought to you by Jif Peanut Butter.
You can't say shit like that. You are going to get us pulled off. It is not sponsored by Jif.
Yeah, it'll be ridiculous. This episode is sponsored by Petroleum Jelly, Vaseline Petroleum Jelly. For all your lube needs, Vaseline is there for you. You're in a tight spot, Vaseline helps you out.
And I wonder why we keep getting hit with copyright shit.
All right, we do more age appropriate. Biofreeze. Biofreeze because everybody's over 40.
Oh man,
Everybody's back hurts now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, me.
Chris has got the dogs behind him already.
Oh yeah, they're going to be moving around.
Yep. Oh jeez.
Hopefully I can get to the mute button before they start drinking any water.
I know we don't believe they drink water, right?
That's what he's calling it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what you're going with, Chris?
Mm-hmm. They're drinking
Well, I thought I had the mute button hit last time.
Uh-huh.
AKA peanut butter.
That's what we call it.
Oh, me.
All right, boys. What do you guys want to talk about tonight?
I think, well, hell, we might as well talk about whatever everything else is being talked about, all the fucking craziness going on right now.
You season unicorns?
Exactly. Hopefully, big thing, is, I don't know, I felt like something like this was coming. Something was brewing. There's a storm.
It's called Taco Bell.
Oh, hey. You mean Taco Hell?
Yeah. No, man, I agree with you on that. Like, 100% that something like this is going to happen, brewing. We've all seen what happened back in 2020 and all this other stuff, so I think it's a good topic to talk about tonight. Like, how can we navigate through this stuff, what people should have to be prepared for shit like this?
Well, there was one thing, what, was it Arizona? I can't remember where it was in Arizona, but I guess somebody pulled a gun on one of the protesters, or I haven't really seen all the details of it, but you know how they're going to spin that if a gun came out. Then you got what, up in your state? You got those freaking 2 politicians that were killed.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Hold on. Before we get too far, better,
oh, yeah. My bad.
Yeah. Yeah, we just kind of dove right into this. So go ahead. That's my buddy Aaron. Brought him on just kind of last minute. Kind of introduce yourself, who you are, what you do.
My name's Aaron. Been a paramedic. Well, been in healthcare for over 20 years. I've been a paramedic since 2008 out here in the West Metro. Service area we cover is about 1,500 square miles, but we go into the Twin Cities multiple times daily. So back when the George Floyd riots happened, we were being escorted by National Guard troops into major city hospitals. Yeah, that's what I do. So, I'm a firefighter as well. Did some death investigation stuff.
So he might have a little bit of a different perspective on kind of this protest and shit like that. So it's kind of why he's here.
Well, luckily nothing crazy happened up our way. I mean, they had a protest, but I didn't hear of anything crazy going on.
I think for the most part today here, as far as protest-wise, it was calm and nothing really popped off. But I think we had the other situation that was kind of overshadowing that with the politicians being shot this morning. But I do know, like, LA obviously had shit burning, and I did hear some reports of something popping off in Atlanta. I'm not 100% sure of that, though.
Yeah, and then that explosion in Vegas, they said that was, I don't know, from what I've been reading here, it seems like maybe just somebody threw a pipe bomb out and it caught a tree on fire.
Right.
But I mean, still, I mean, you get people running around the Las Vegas Strip throwing pipe bombs out. I mean, there's going to be some damage somewhere and even casualties.
So what I'm reading right now is actually says it was fireworks.
Oh, it was fireworks, but
yep. It says prankster threw fireworks from a car causing a fire on the Las Vegas Strip.
But even those big mortars, man, I mean, they can still. Right. I mean, I've seen them take where people hold them in their hand and they hold it too long and it takes pretty much almost their hand off.
Yeah.
That's all right. Nobody's done it twice.
But
right,
it's self-correcting behavior.
So
nature weeds that out.
Let's just jump into this. Jesus, jump into this.
That's my job.
What are your guys' thoughts on, like, what? I hate to use the term go bag or bug out bag, but like, if you're in these areas, what do you think people should have, like, on them as far as outside the EDC for, protection?
Or at least, for me, I tell people at least a rifle and a hand. You at least need a rifle and a handgun. Minimum. Rifle and a handgun.
Yeah, I'd agree.
For what?
What about you, Tony?
Like, I mean, what scenario are you talking about?
Just like navigating these.
I mean, I'm not going to carry a rifle. Like if
you're caught in the middle of this shit protest right now.
Okay, see,
right.
I don't live.
I don't carry a rifle in mine either.
Yeah, I don't carry a rifle in my vehicle. So all I have is my EDC. My thing is, this is something I've been looking into, and hopefully I can get what I need. You've seen the Flux, right? The Flux Raider. That's like a P320 inside a chassis with the extended brace. Now, I just say your EDC handgun because that's what you can carry on you all the time. I mean, let's be realistic about what we can carry if you carry it. If you live in a place you can carry a rifle, cool. As long as it can actually secure it. And I don't talk about with a cable. I mean a safe that you can secure it in. Great. But when you get out of that vehicle, if crap hasn't already hit the fan and you need it, what the hell is Chris doing? What's Dirk Diggler over there doing? Anyway, if you don't need the rifle, now you've escalated, or you seem to have escalated, because now you have a long gun. And in Jersey, that's going to get me shot. Or it's going to have somebody try to come take it away and it's going to get them shot. So I'm looking at something like, not the Flux, because that costs way too much. But I'm looking at something like the chassis system from Recover Tactical, where I can put my pistol, have it hooked up to my Glock, or have it in my bag, and then I can extend it, and now I can reach a little further. What was that? I didn't.
You not like those micro ronies?
They're really bulky.
The micro ronies.
They're really bulky. So
Yeah, I get you. Okay, I agree with you on that. I'm not gonna
now, no,
not gonna
because
deny that one.
I've
I
been
didn't
looking at
realize how
both.
much these things were.
Yeah, exactly. Um, I'm just saying that's one of those
Jeez.
a step up from an EDC because you have the ability to put the brace on and shoot further and have multiple points of contact. Maybe you can put it in
I get it.
your get home bag, and you just carry your EDC. But if you need to put that on, you can, and you can still keep it under your clothing. You don't want to have to pull something until you actually have to pull it. I don't want to instigate a confrontation, but if a confrontation comes, I want to end it. My whole thing is try to get out of the area as quickly as possible, but understand that sometimes you can, especially if they close off roads. We had a situation. The reason now I've thought about this because we had something happen here during a mostly peaceful summer. We had protests, and they had one planned for Trent. And someone, I love that no one knows who dropped off a pallet of bricks. Now, if that pallet contained explosives and they blew up a building, you'd know exactly who drove the truck, where it came from, when they rented it. But somehow they have no idea who, in the center of Trenton, a capital city, who dropped off a pallet of bricks. Well, what happened that particular day is the governor let all state employees go, except the people that worked in corrections. I work in Trenton. I work in corrections. I didn't find this off till I got out of work that I could be potentially allowed because the governor didn't want to. I don't know what the hell it was. Um, I could have been let out into one of these violent protests. And that's when I started thinking about what do you carry? How do you get through this stuff? And I started looking into it. So, yeah, I believe what you guys say. You should have a firearm. You should also have a plan. You should also have stuff that doesn't make you look like a Minuteman reporting to duty. You know what I mean? So I've thought about it.
Right.
And my stuff doesn't shout gray man, but being looking like I do, it doesn't really say, you know what, nobody's going to think I have a knife unless they're people like us. People won't say I have a gun. They just see me walking around with a bag. Some old dude with a slight limp walking with a bag. You don't know. Yeah, I'm strapped. I have the ability to get home. I live close enough that I can walk. And because it's Trenton, and again, I live close, I blend in with the populace. I don't wear a uniform,
Because you leave your uniforms at work, I'm guessing.
don't have a uniform, so I wear civilian clothes. ID comes off
Oh, there you
immediately,
go.
and nothing says, law enforcement, DOC, or state employee. I'm just a dude walking.
Right. Well, I mean, going back to the long gun, like I know Chris, he's got his setup in his truck and all. I got my setup in my truck. I mean, for the most part, yeah, I have mine in my truck. I will say that, granted, it's there, it's secure, but excuse me. I also understand I'm not going to go to my rifle first, right? I'm going to have my EDC. I mean, that's my go-to first, plain and simple. But having the needs, if God forbid I need to get a rifle or absolutely need a rifle, knowing I have it, it's there.
Now, do you guys carry
Well, and that
anything?
was one reason I changed the.
Go ahead, Chris.
Carry what, Ernie?
What happened, Tony? You kind of cut out.
Oh, I stopped
What'd you say,
talking.
carry anything what?
I was waiting. I was
Yeah,
waiting for Chris.
you were asking something. Oh, my bad, man. No, I changed the safe, the locks, from a key lock to a combination lock. So I was like, if I'm in a hurry, I'm not going to be thinking to try to grab my keys out of the ignition. So this way I can still get into it and not need my keys or anything like that. It'd be nice if they had something where it was biometric.
Don't trust biometric. It ain't ready for prime
I don't
time
think your mushroom head's going to open the safe.
yet. Biometric is not ready for prime time yet.
I've heard about that with some of the.
So
Well,
they ordered biometric safes without consulting me. Somebody that's been since '93 working in the business, and it didn't work out well. It just didn't work 100% when we came to use it. So they ended up using the key override like a regular key system.
Yeah.
Well, like what else do you think? Like, I'm sure. Like, what else people should have like with them in their vehicle? Because let's say you get it in a
Medical.
situation. Well, that's a huge one for me. Where you get caught up in the middle of the shits, and now you get surprised in your middle of a highway shutdown, and you're in the middle of the fucking this peaceful protest. What else are you thinking? I know, like KD was talking about gas masks and shit like that. Like, what are your guys' thoughts on all that?
Listen, that's a lot of. Understand, you're walking with this. You're carrying this. How much gear are you going to have? Where are you going to stow it? Are you going to carry it every day? It's going to be with you in your job, or is it going to just be in your car? How about this? Know how to get around these things. So either know the layout of the city or have a paper map. Not depend on your GPS because that might get shut down because again, you have no idea what goes down. You might be able to walk around everything, but understand when you punch stuff in, it keeps rerouting you and pissing you off when you're just trying to find the nearest Chick-fil-A. What do you think is going to happen when you're trying to find your way around a disturbance? You know what I mean? So know your way out.
Yep.
And
Well, that is a big thing, having a paper map. A lot of people, even people that grew up with it, don't have some type of paper map. I mean, that is a good thing to have.
Well, and like as far as gas masks go, unless you're right at the front of that line that got stopped by protesters or a police line, you're going to bug out of your vehicle and start heading the direction you came from and not keep heading in the direction that you were going, because that's what I would do is I would backtrack where I came from because I just came from there and know that things are relatively safe. Nothing's ever 100% safe, but at least I know now there's something up ahead that's stopping all these vehicles. I'm going to head back towards where I came from and find a way around.
Again, I don't dismiss being able to blend in with the crowd. Now, I carry a neck gaiter only because of what I do at work. I pull it over my face when I'm grinding or when I'm grinding or doing other things, or when they do spray someone in the prison that I'm working in there, cover up so I don't have to inhale all the pepper spray they hit some a-hole with. So carrying that, especially now in these times, again, throw the mask on. Yeah, sure. Down with the patriarchy, and walk through the crowd and get the fuck out of Dodge. You kind of sort of look like one of them. I see how all of us dress. We can probably blend in with these crowd of douche canoes. Again, throw that on, throw the hat on, pull it down over your face, and just try to slide through. My job is not to fight it. I don't want to be the newest Kyle Rittenhouse. I just want to get home.
Right, exactly. Or if not, and if you can't get home, at least try to get somewhere where it's safe.
I want to get somewhere where at least I can hold up. And again, I have the advantage of only having one doorway. Somebody's trying to come in. If they're going to be stupid, they're going to have to come through a fatal funnel. I'm just trying to get somewhere where I'm safe. Hopefully be able to at least call the police or somebody. Oh, also in your bag, carry a dang battery or what you call it. I'm just talking, well, I don't have that, but what I do have is an extra battery and a cable hookup so I can keep my phone charged. I think that's very important to make sure you keep your phone charged. And the means to recharge it. You never know how long you're going to be out of the loop.
Right. But my thing is,
who knows what's going to happen depending on what's going on. They could shut down the cell network.
They could.
And that's why I've been really going down a comms rabbit hole. So I got a couple of these that I have, so it's able to have something where I can still communicate if I needed to.
Those Chinese ones, a bao song or whatever you call it.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
Bofang.
Bofang. Bao song. Bofang.
Yeah.
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 I've looked at them, but
if you bought it off a Wish, you don't believe them.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have anybody to talk to. What's the point of the radio? Anybody out there? Hello?
Yeah, valid point.
And hello. Going down the comms route, scanners are kind of outdated now because, at least in the state of Minnesota, all law enforcement agencies are now encrypted.
Yep.
So you're not going to hear any of their law enforcement traffic on the radio.
Oh, no shit.
Even day to day.
Damn.
The only things I can hear at work now, end-to-end communication from start to finish, is fire departments and other EMS agencies. Is it?
Now, they have certain channels here in South Carolina where you can't hear what they're saying, but a lot of their main channels, yeah, you can pretty much hear everything that goes on.
Yeah, Minnesota's 100% digital, 800 megahertz, and it was a requirement by the feds that all law enforcement agencies had to be encrypted by next year, I believe it was. So,
I mean, it does kind of make sense, because if you're out trying to do something and you can hear everything they're doing and where they're going and stuff.
Even the cops I work with said that, the number of gawkers on calls has gone down drastically since they've gone encrypted, because they'll only air the initial call, needed for a welfare check, and then everything else is encrypted after that.
Yeah.
So, and they don't even air the address.
Nope.
Unencrypted anymore. So.
No, they air. You hear everything, especially the county I'm in. You can hear freaking everything. Like I said, every now and then you'll hear them call out certain channels, and then once they do that, you can't hear anything that they're saying or doing.
Yeah, it's just it's just amazing, like how people need to understand too is how quickly these things can turn. I'm not saying it's one side or the other. I'm just saying in general, we've seen these protests, some very peaceful, or some they just complete fucking 360 and 180 on you real quick. And that's what people need to understand is like how quickly the dynamic changes. We were down in Minneapolis after all the George Floyds went down, after they burned Lake Street to the fucking ground. And we were down there in the middle of the morning, like it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. And everybody was all peaceful. They were like working together and cleaning shit up. But I'm sitting there watching the crowd, and I just noticed how quickly the dynamic started to change. And knew we had to get the fuck out of there quick. And I'm glad we did, because there was two big groups that formed right after we got out of there.
And the people that are down there after that, the ones that are cleaning up, the ones that are doing all the good stuff, aren't the ones that were out the night before typically that were causing the mayhem, causing the damage and looting and all the violence.
Right.
Those are just your average Joes like us I want to save my neighborhood, put it back to what it was.
Well, that's the frustrating thing. You can't sit here and say you're protesting something when you're just out robbing stores.
There are people out there
smashing windows and robbing stores, and
there are people out there that just understand some of these protests are obviously paid for. We know that they're professional agitators that go out and destroy stuff. And then there's the dirt bags that follow everything and take advantage of a situation. It's nothing new. This is not the first time. They actually did it during Martin Luther King Jr. Protest back in the day. And then it turned into a riot. It never started out as a riot, but that first person throws the friggin' throws the brick through the window. Other people throw the brick through the window because usually it's kids, or again, nowadays, somebody who's actually paid to do stuff like that. Remember what they did? What was it? It was an auto parts store. It was a guy in a mask, and they were like, that dude's a cop. That dude's a cop. And he ran away when everybody's camera came out because he was trying to get them to burn down a store. There are people out there. Remember, FBI had 20-something people. They can't show you the internal video from January 6th because they had over 20 people that were working for the FBI. That makes no difference if you're hung up in it. None of that makes a difference. It's kind of like, what are your chances? What are the odds of you getting struck by lightning? Nobody cares less about those odds than the dude that just got struck by lightning. It makes no difference if you're involved in this disturbance. However it happened, you have to get out of it. Blending in with the crowd, being able to move, not sticking out like a 511 catalog. All that's very important. Unless everybody around you dresses like a 511 catalog. And, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, that's how people dress.
But that is one thing to consider. Yes, is the 511. Any one of these companies we can go through, but if you kind of look at some of these people that are there protesting, some of them are in clothing very similar to that. So that's not a total waste, but yeah, I mean, you definitely got to understand where you're at. I mean, if everybody's out wearing blue jeans and you're the only one in 511 pants and a 511 freaking collared shirt and you got a 511 hat on, I mean, you are kind of telling people stuff. Or you riding around in your vehicle with the freaking, come and take it sticker or anything like that all over you. That's where another thing that people need to consider as well too. That's why I don't put magnets on my vehicle anymore. I don't have any stickers on my vehicle to be able to remotely guess that, there's going to probably be a gun in there.
And look what happens. You still get broken.
God, I know. Hey, but none of my guns got stolen. Let's go that route.
Yeah, no.
They got that damn med kit.
That's all right. I'm ready for next time.
I mean, no, like I said, I agree.
I got a Kamala Waltz freaking sticker and a coexist sticker, and I'm putting those right.
Hey, that's
Saving
something.
the Trump stickers for all the protesters that parked down there. So
That would be the greatest.
That's exactly. Hey, that is not a bad idea. Damn, that is a good idea right there.
Yep, and NRA stickers.
Yep, that's something.
NRA stickers.
Yeah.
NRA and Trump.
Thin blue line.
Oh, that would be freaking great. Everybody's out there beating everybody's car.
Mm-hmm. These colors don't run.
Dude, that's hilarious.
make sure you put it. Make sure you put it on. Make sure you put it on the bus they all got shipped in on.
Oh, and then you got to throw in some rebel flags too.
Oh, definitely rebel flag.
Yep, you got to throw in some rebel flag stickers. They'll focus all on those vehicles with the rebel flags.
Oh, that would be the greatest.
Hey, but no, like, you talk about that, but I forgot to tell y'all there were some people
that did in LA
that when this year at Train and Learn, their rooms were in the front. They had cameras out their window focused on their vehicle while they slept.
Nice.
Hey.
I don't blame them one bit. But luckily, this was a better place. There wasn't any issues, thank God, this time.
Your shit was safe this time.
But it knowing the layout of your area and stuff, Tony. I mean, you're right in the city, so I mean, it's
that's what I tell Jen. She works downtown Minneapolis, so it's like. I have to go through all this mentality. Like, granted, her work is very good, but hey, work from home, shit's what may or may not pop off. So work from home. But for that unexpected, oh shit moment that you get caught in it, what I'm walking trying that what should she have in her vehicle? Which I know she already got her other stuff with her, but there's things that I've ran through my head. Like, nope, that doesn't need to be there. That doesn't need to be there. Yes, this needs to be there type of deal.
Also, it's depending on the weather.
And a lot of times it's going to.
If you can get away with a bigger coat, you can get away with a bigger firearm. You can get away with not having a bag on, even though almost everybody carries bags now. Just don't. And even if it has Molly webbing on it now, that doesn't really make a difference. That's just a look now. It's a fashion thing. So that's not really a dead giveaway.
Yeah.
Chris carries his fanny pack.
Hey, there's still people rocking fanny packs now.
Oh, more people than ever rocking fanny packs now.
Oh,
but
speaking of,
yeah, all they're doing is wearing it across their chest. It's still a damn fanny pack. I don't care what nobody says. It's still a damn fanny pack. You wear it wherever you want to. It's still a fanny pack, motherfuckers.
Been carrying one forever.
So y'all can get mad at me and y'all can call it a shoulder bag if you want to, but it's a goddamn fanny pack, damn it.
Oh, believe me, my wife doesn't pretend it's anything heterosexual at all. She's like, "Where's your purse, Dora the Explorer?" Yeah.
Backpack.
Yes, and she's done that to me too. Where's your backpack? So,
Swiper, no swiping.
Oh, bro. It's like, junior med kit, tourniquet. other stuff. I got it in there, flashlight, extra flashlight, because I carry two on me at all times because of my job. Because nothing's worse than being inside working on something, needing your flashlight and having it die. So I have another one because I'm not getting off this ladder, going down, or getting my tools, come back with another flashlight.
Right.
Well, right. And that's a good point. Like you said, extra batteries, flashlights, things like that nature. You know.
Well, with the bag, I mean, that's one good thing about the takedown is that fits in a small bag. The other thing to think about with the bag is throw a little medical sticker on there. That way most people think it's just medical, and then maybe they just assume you're out there to help if somebody gets hurt. But you got a freaking rifle in there so you can handle business if you need to.
That's medical equipment. What
That's 100% medical equipment. I have this to keep me healthy.
Exactly.
That's the start the bleed class.
Yes. Chris, for your bag, make sure you got the peanut butter. So you can
peanut butter and jelly.
I showed you the jelly already.
Tony will make sure he's got his chopsticks and popcorn.
Need snacks, bro. Got to keep
Chris,
up that
Chris
energy.
will have his upside down Snickers bar. Yeah, Chris will have his Snickers bar upside down.
Upside down. I like the ridges.
It's veiny.
He reminds me of Tony.
It's so veiny.
Now, this is something that I don't do,
God,
and I think it should be important, is keeping up with the news that's happening near you. Again, I did not know they had a march planned in Trenton that day. I think I did, but it was no big deal. I didn't know they canceled it. These are things, because it was happening. Understand, Donald Trump is president again, so the agenda's up there again to pretend the whole nation's falling apart. What's his name said it? I can't remember his name. Michael Blaine. Michael Blaine said it. He called it chumming for sharks. Michael Blaine said chumming for sharks. These people wish badness. They keep saying horrible things. Oh, this is going to be this. This is going to be the overthrow of the government. This is going to be violent. This is going to be assassinations. All this stuff has been brought up every time Trump ran for president, when he was president. So they keep saying it, and all of a sudden it manifests itself because there are people funding it. Keep that in mind, so pay attention.
Yep.
Maybe put a news feed on your phone, and before you leave somewhere, just check it. Just check to see what's come up. Maybe nothing happens. Local news is better instead of national. Local news is much better, and if something pops off, usually they know about it relatively quickly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, your local news is gonna know about it a whole lot faster. But then, I mean, it's still good to look at the national as well too. But I mean, local is what you need to focus on, because they made announcements about the protest. I think it was here, Columbia, and Charleston. I could be wrong. It might have been some other places, but I know those are the main ones that I heard people talking about.
Now, I don't know if you guys have. I mean, everybody has.
Oh, I guess
they have news radio stations. That a radio station will break in at the drop of a hat with news. So, and all of them have websites. So that might be a thing to do. Have that as one of your home pages on your phone or something, and you can just check it real quick. I'm gonna have to change my thing up to do that, because again, they're gonna try to do this crap here in Jersey.
I was going to say the other thing too to consider is body armor. I mean, they make body armor so thin now. If it's something that you are able to keep in your vehicle and just quick throw it on, and I'm not talking level 4 plates, I'm talking just soft armor that you're able to conceal underneath a sweatshirt or conceal underneath a t-shirt or something like that to buy time and also afford not only safety against high velocity, low velocity projectiles, but the shit bags that are out there, they're going to try and whap you with a bat or something to get your stuff.
If you're the size of a regular human,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
definitely. I
My
mean,
plates look about this big, so
and you.
They make gorilla sizes. It's fine. It's
whoa.
well, I
fine.
mean, I was just gonna say, Premier Body Armor's got a great product. They've got their T-shirt that's got soft body armor. Just don't wear it through TSA, even though it's TSA approved. You do get looked at funny when you wear it. Ask me how I know.
Hey, and don't forget about your John Wick suits out there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, like, let's be honest. Everybody has these. I've done certain things too. Like, I've got plate carrier in my truck or rifle in my truck and all this stuff. But like, that's not always my plate carrier is not always with me. But you get some of these people that they think they have to have this plate carrier, they must have a rifle, and they don't understand if you're grabbing a rifle and throwing a plate carrier. And we've talked about this before. Shit has gone really bad, really quick.
Yep. But now, I mean, in those types of situations, I mean, hell, look at what happened with L.A. and Rodney King. They drug that trucker out of his truck, and I mean, they've almost killed that dude.
His name-
He did wrong. No offense, and I'm not advocating it. Is keep going.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
his
That
name
was his fatal mistake. Was stopping in the middle.
his name was Reginald Denny, and they dragged him out of his vehicle because he didn't want to
Reginald
hurt
Denny.
anybody. Understand something. It's you or them. You need.
Yep.
Here's the sad part. This came up. There hadn't been riots like that in LA for freaking 30 years prior to that, or 25 years. So that might not have been his mind space then. He was a truck driver just trying to do his job. Those dudes paid for it, so you're aware of it now. Make a plan now. What will make you run a mother effer over? I don't know. They're burning stuff and having a road closed off, and now they're surrounding my vehicle. You just became meat speed bumps. So sad. I'll buy a T-shirt with your face on it. I'm running your ass over.
But that's the other thing with this too is that mindset, because that's what got it. Because it's that a lot of people have the mindset of, yeah, I'm defending myself, but you're still doing violence. So there's still that hesitation there because they're worried about getting in trouble, going to jail, and crap like that. Because you see what has happened to other people that has tried to defend themselves, especially in cities and states that are very heavy Democratic. So you still can't. For me, okay, say you do convict me and I go to jail for whatever. I'm still alive. I can still see my family. It's a shitty way to see my family, but by God, I know I did the right thing. But that's something a lot of people are going to struggle with, is by not having that right mindset. And it goes back to what we've all been kind of beating a dead horse in some of our episodes is training.
Let me guess. Training.
Understand.
But
one of the
that brings up a conversation.
One of the things you definitely need is one of the self-defense insurances that work like they advertise they work. All right? So look into it.
Agreed.
Because that is going to be necessary.
Agreed.
You're using self-defense to get out alive. Yes, they will play the racial card. They will do whatever. I mean, think about it. They've played the race card in the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, and he did nothing but shoot white people. It's a white dude shooting white people, and they've been saying he's racist. And I'm like, why?
Right, he's racist. I love that was the one great thing I loved about that. Yeah. That was the one great thing. Yep. He's racist.
So if you're white, try to run over only white people.
He was using a black gun.
Copy that.
He was using a black gun without asking for its permission.
Yep.
Oh God!
That trigger.
Exactly. Yeah, but I mean, it's going to get anything nowadays is going to get spun for it to fit that narrative. I mean, if we, just like everybody with the whole January 6th. I mean, either way, whether there were paid people there, where there were FBI agents there antagonizing that, we played right into their hands and they got exactly what they wanted out of that. Now they can sit and say that we're these crazy gun-toting rednecks that just want to overthrow the government and all that.
Yeah, gun-toting rednecks that forgot their guns on January 6th when they went to overthrow the government. Well, you go out the door, you're like, damn, well, I'm already in D.C. I forgot the gun. You remembered your gun? No, I forgot my gun, too.
Exactly.
I don't know if you guys know, but I was asked to speak January 6th. Because that was right after the November 2019 event.
No.
Right? Was that it? Yeah.
Yep.
I was asked to speak.
Yep.
And I forgot the date because they asked me to speak pretty much September, October timeframe. And I said I'd do it. And around December, I was like, oh, crap. Dude, what date is it? I know it's in January. When is it? And I looked it up and it said January 6th. They had 3 or 4 different protests there. I'm like, nope, not going. And I am so glad I didn't go because we all know people that were there. One of the guys from work was there. And they investigated the hell out of him and his wife. One friend of mine actually was in Gitmo because his corny ass went into the building. So he'd been locked up for 3 years.
So I had a friend of mine. They went into the building you find a bathroom before everything cracked. They were in the bathroom when everything cracked off. And they got caught on camera inside the building, and he ended up with 3 years probation. Because he had to go and take all of what he did is took his guns, and the gunsmith that I know, he put it under his books as working on them. So that way they couldn't come and take his guns and stuff.
So that's a lesson for us all. If there's a protest, pee outside.
Yeah. But no, I mean, there were a lot of people that asked me to come up there. There were a ton of people that called me trying to get me to go, but I don't know, man. Something for me just felt weird and felt off about it. And I mean, it's shitty what happened, but I mean, we did play into their hands, man. I don't care what anybody says. We played right into what they wanted to happen.
Yep.
And I mean, there's videos out there that show the police not doing anything, not stopping anybody, and people even going over like, why aren't you stopping them? And they're just standing there not saying anything. So they're going to manipulate it however they need to manipulate it. I mean, I'm not saying one side's any more guilty than the other side. They all do it. It happens. So, and I still say at the end of the day, if you think they're not all going into a room and lighting up cigars and drinking whiskey and laughing about, oh, let's see how we can get these people to fight against each other some more.
Wow, nobody's talked about Doge in a really long time. Nobody's talked about the fact that we don't still have a budget approved. It's all distractions that they think mean nothing because they profit either way. Pay attention to what's happening, please. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated by your favorite talking head. You don't have a politician that's on your side. They're on their side. So you have to prepare for stuff like this regardless of how you feel politically. You might get hung up. I don't wish that on anybody because I don't want to have to walk home because I can't get through a crowd or try to get back to the prison. Make my way back to the prison without raising suspicion, because who's going to let me back through the gate when I come if something goes down near there, because we were worried about protests there too, and we have protocols set up for stuff like that. But it's like, what if I'm out and caught in it?
Because it happens, man. I mean, look at some of these other countries where people have been out, on vacation, and they get caught up in shit when it cracks off. So, I mean, it's always LA. I think, unfortunately, is just one where shit like that's just always going to happen. But I mean, I'm sorry. Let's all be honest and call it what it is. There's nothing peaceful about this. If there's shit burning and shit getting broken into, there's nothing peaceful about this. So Let's get past that and understand exactly what it is, but make sure you're ready for it. I didn't even want to. Now, I knew there was stuff going on in Greenville. I didn't even bother going anywhere near that area today. I didn't want to take any chance of being caught up if something were to crack off. Because, where I'm at right now, I have it good. I've got a little bit more time to prepare before people start filtering out of the city.
Can I say something
But I
real
also
quick?
understand that I could be. Yeah, come on.
A lot of people sitting here listening to this going, well, I'm not a friggin' conservative right wing, nut job, listen, peaceful protest can turn into violent riots and confrontations. So regardless of what side of the political argument you're on, same thing. These people do not care. You have to get out of there and you have to make yourself less of a target. There are people taking advantage of this and instigating stuff. So even if you have your friggin' free Gaza sign, if you have, disabled, what is it, defund ICE, it makes no difference if people are just being violent and attacking people. You could be targeted because you have that sign,
Yeah.
because they need to spill blood of the innocent. Understand that. There's an agenda at play. Everything out there is a problem for you if you get caught up in one of these. Extract yourself regardless of your politics.
Yep.
Pay attention.
Nope, you're exactly right. You are 100% right. And that's what a lot of people are. I don't know, man. It's just everything is on a very slippery slope with all this shit going on.
Yep.
Crazy times. And what about you from your perspective as a medic or a firefighter? Like, what do you see? Because I know you've had to go into that shit. Like, what's your perspective?
The perspective now, especially in Minneapolis, we have a lot of people that have come to my place of employment from working in the inner city. And, there used to be a time when firefighting and EMS was seen as almost sacred and untouchable.
Right.
Like, these protesters would leave EMS alone. They would leave fire alone. The gangbangers would leave police or EMS and fire alone because they know we're just the neutral party there to help people.
Right.
And the days of that are long gone. I talked to medics that came out of the inner city and they wouldn't have a shift that went by that they weren't shot at. They weren't having bricks thrown at their truck. Their goal down there was to get out of somebody's house and into the truck as fast as they could because that was their only means of escape. Minneapolis Fire, I see it all the time. They're driving around with all their scene lights on and everything. Doesn't matter if it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the morning. You see a Minneapolis fire truck driving down Lake Street, they have all their white scene lights on to be able to stay situationally aware. And those guys are facing the same problems of people throwing bricks and all that at them as well. So, for those of us in healthcare, it's sad that that day of respectable gangbanging, I will call it, is gone. They don't care. They see the uniform and they're just like, fuck you, you're one of them.
Right. Yeah, because before it was really mainly everybody was kind of against just, say, law enforcement and not really anything else. But see, now they've pushed it so hard to where you need to not like the government. So now EMS, firefighters, you're essentially, the way they look at it, a government employee. So you're part of the problem as well.
It doesn't matter what's on the side of your truck. It's all you're seen as one. Right.
Yep.
And you guys can't, even as medics, for say,
I'm still listening.
Could you go into this place unless the scene was clear still, right?
So for us out here, we're fortunate. We get fire and law enforcement on 99% of the calls we go on. No scene is ever truly safe. Down in Minneapolis, they're lucky to get law enforcement unless it's something really bad. So out here where
Right.
I work, we're fortunate to have law enforcement on our side.
Well, and it goes back to kind of what we've been really talking about here is you having a plan, because depending on what's going on, they might not be able to get to you right away. You having a plan, you having some medical, heaven forbid you get shot, you need a tourniquet around your arm or your leg or whatever, and
Well,
understanding how to use that stuff.
and in the middle of the shit going down is not the time that you think you're gonna be able to figure this crap out.
In the middle of the shit going down when you've been fucking shot. Oh, let me take my tourniquet out of the plastic that it's still in from when I fucking bought it.
Amazon.
Let me YouTube
Oh, God.
how to use a tourniquet.
Right. Oh, wait.
That's what I'm doing right now. I work in healthcare. Come on.
Well, and that's what brings up, like, why I stress the medical classes so damn much, because
Yep.
it's so important to fucking understand. That's
This this shit right here is exactly why you need medical training, whether you carry a firearm or not.
Shameless
you
plug. Easley, South Carolina, September 13th.
Yes. Matter of fact, I'll put the link on the website or on the screen here. But
whether you carry or not, whether you are pro-gun or anti-gun, get fucking medical training.
yes, yes. Whether you're
And we're not gonna go down to medical talk.
whether you're right or left, you need medical training.
Exactly, and that's why I stress it so much, because you'd never fucking know. And like I said in previous episodes, the medical training will help you remain calm in other situations. That's the other side of it. Like when I bring up Cameron's situation with the seizures, I'm able to stay a lot calmer because of obviously a lot of the other training I have, but the medical training side of it really helped me out.
And with the medical training too, train like you're doing it for real. Don't put the tourniquet on loose, turn it a couple of times. Okay, I know how to use this.
I still have a bruise from fucking tourniquet, probably.
Because with medical training, you're going to lose all those fine motor skills, especially if it's the first time you do it. You're relying strictly on gross motor skills. So train with that tourniquet like you're actually going to use it.
Yeah.
Make that pulse go away.
Chris knows something about that.
Yes.
Hey,
freaking
I had 4 of them on me.
Oh yeah. But
Did you ever see that video? I did a medical class in Atlanta.
Have you shown the video of you getting hit by a baton yet?
No, but I
want to see.
I don't think there's video
at the end of the class. I decided to have some fun. I was like, grab tourniquets. Yeah, so I had one in each arm, one in each leg, and dude, I will say this: Kevin knows how to put a fucking tourniquet on tight. That shit was the worst one I had on me, because that one was brutally.
Now let's talk about the time that you forgot the safe word and Jen used the baton on.
No, that was me.
That was usually when I was doing stupid shit. I thought it was a good idea to get hit by a fucking police baton. But yeah, it goes back to it falls back to what we keep saying: it's training. And I know people are probably tired of hearing us bringing it up, but it's this situation, these protests, it's whatever the case you want to call it. This is why we train. This is why you should be training.
Yeah, because you never know and that's the biggest thing, is that you never know where it's going to happen at. Like people when they say, "Oh, I'm just going here. I don't need to carry my gun." That's usually when you need to carry it.
Well, like, Katie did a live the other day talking about similar stuff about this. We brought up, the percentage of gun owners that, don't train, or the percentage of gun owners that do train.
Well, what we talked about with Sedini, you saw those numbers. What was it?
Exactly.
5% or some shit like that?
Yeah, something like that. And just because, Katie said it in his live, just because you're a gun owner, they have this false notion that they're trained. No, you're not.
Sadly, many firearms owners and people who have concealed carry permits don't carry. Why? Why did you go through the trouble if you live in one of the states where you had to go through trouble? Why'd you go through the trouble the expense, the rudimentary training. Remember, it's rudimentary training not to carry that firearm.
Hey, look, I'm sitting right now recording this. I've got mine on me.
I'm scared.
There we go.
It's like
All three of us right here.
so. And this is one of the things I take issue with is the people that go, well, I'm only going to the store. I got my basketball pants on, so I'm carrying my 32 with 6 rounds in it. Great. What if it's something more serious than your 32 with 6 rounds in it can cope with?
I know you better have an extra mag, and exactly.
You better have the ability to shoot further than bad breath distances.
Yep.
That brings another point. Most people, like, what's the average distance people normally train at? They go to the range, they shoot, 5-7 yards, and they call it good. How many people actually go? How many people actually? You know what? I'm going to have Sedini put that in the damn survey. What distance are these people normally training at?
Well, then you have that group that goes out to 25 yards for whatever reason. They think every gunfight's at 25 yards.
Okay, this is what I look at.
Exactly.
Because I think Waller can tell us differently.
So my thing is this: pay attention to where you at.
Go ahead, Tony.
Pay attention to where you at and where you frequent.
Yeah.
All right, because what's the distance of the aisle at the grocery store? What's the distance of an aisle at Home Depot?
15 yards.
I'm just saying.
15 yards.
Understand that you might have to make a shot. You might have to make a shot because somebody has a firearm, and you can't approach any closer without being seen and shot yourself. So if they're a threat, you need to drop the threat. Can you drop one further than 10, 15 yards? Because people act as if that's a long distance. Now, we've shot. I know I've shot. What was it, Glock 19? Well, it was a Glock 45 at 200 yards on a 14-inch target. I was able to hit it. Don't expect other people to do that. I trained a lot. I dry fired a lot. But let's talk about what you can hit. A man has to know his limitations, as Clint Eastwood said in one of his many movies. What are your limitations? What can you safely hit at in a place that has other innocent people running around? And the way you know that is actually spend time at the range.
Exactly.
No shortcuts to this shit. There's no shortcuts.
I usually tell people. I usually tell people 25 yards is really about the max, but you definitely need to push yourself because look at that. What's his name that was in the mall? What was it? 40 yards.
Dickens.
Yeah.
I still don't think he stood at 40. Yeah, I still don't think he stood there at 40 yards. I think he moved closer.
It started at 40 yards. Whatever. He moved closer. It started at 40 yards. He moved closer. Yes. He moved closer, definitely. But he got the initial, he opened fire initially at 40. My thing is, every step he moved closer was a chance of him getting killed. Remember, the guy scrambled away and took his own life. Dickens didn't kill him. What if the guy was more determined and was going to take as many people as possible? You want to use as least amount of rounds as possible to get the desired results. That simple. So if I can do a headshot on him and drop him, great. He was a threat. Makes no difference where I hit him.
Exactly.
What, you mean you're not supposed to hit him in the arm?
I aim for the kneecap.
Oh, okay.
I usually go maybe like pinky toe, somewhere in that area.
Definitely pinky toe. Pinky toe is very important.
Start calling him Kyle.
I mean, I don't know. Everything is crazy right now. Everybody just needs to be everybody just needs to be paying attention to what's going on around you. I think that's the biggest thing is everybody just needs to pay attention.
Don't have this idea of like, I need this just in case I'm going to go here. Why the fuck are you going to go down there? Like, if you don't need to go there, don't go there.
Exactly. And so the whole gun thing, I know that kind of got us started on this. You at least need a handgun. All right. Not a rifle, not a 12 gauge
Yeah.
pump shotgun. You at least need a handgun. And when I say handgun, not a 32, not a 22 Derringer.
Yeah, you beat me to
All
it.
right. Or anything like that. I mean, you need something truthfully in the 9mm category because that's where you're going to get the most rounds would not may it be a heavy gun. You know, some people like 380. I'm not saying anything bad about 380, but to me, 9mm is going to get you a round count in one magazine if that's all you want to carry.
As far as self-defense equipment, yes, but minimum, you need to have thought this through before it happens. That's the minimum. Have a plan, and then have another plan, and then have a third plan, but already have thought about it. Using your brain is more important than using equipment. Having equipment gives you more options, but not being an idiot, bumbling around, going, "How could
Well,
this happen?"
exactly.
Yeah. So up here first, play it off in your head. You don't have to go doomsday scenario or World War Z, but at least go with what you've seen on the news. This is just a replay. This is 2020 2.0, right? I mean, we've seen this before. Look at some of the worst things and then think about how would
Oh,
you
yeah.
get out of what is the name of the town that Kyle Rittenhouse was in? What was the name of the city?
Kenosha.
Yeah. How
Yeah,
would you get out
Kenosha.
of Kenosha?
Kenosha.
All right. How do you get out of Kenosha? How do you navigate that without having to shoot anyone? All right. Think about that one. Don't put a target on your back. Don't be in places that you don't need to be. It's great that I mean, I've met Kyle twice or three times. Very, very nice young man. But man, did he have the future he had planned thrown out the window. He cannot do any of the things he wanted to do. Can't be an EMT. Can't be a cop. Can't do any of those things. He has to come up with a whole new career plan, and his name is still Kyle Rittenhouse.
Well, and not only that, heaven forbid another situation happens where he has to defend himself. Imagine how much that is going to be scrutinized.
How about this? How much of a delay? How much of a delay that could cost him his life? Is he going to wait before he resorts to using violence to get out of a situation? Because he knows what can happen
Very
to
true. Yep. Very true.
I just know if I see Chris shave his beard, throw in a gas mask, and nods, I know shit's getting real.
Hey, no lie, man. If my beard's gone, yeah, something's about to be bad because the gas mask is coming out.
All I'm going to say is, whose car are we taking?
I mean, and look, we're not saying go that far, but now you need to understand when they're popping off CS gas around these people, if you're caught in this, you do need to have some way to cover your face to where you're not huffing that stuff in, unless now, I mean, I know what it's like. I had to go through the gas chamber. Tony, you know what it's like. You had to go through the gas chamber. I mean, it ain't pleasant, but that did prepare you for if something pops off and you don't get your gas mask on right away, you can still fight through whatever, even though it sucks so bad. But you need to have some way to cover your face. Not saying you got to go buy a gas mask. If you want to go get a gas mask, go get a gas mask. But, you know, there are tons of ways that you can cover your face to where you're not huffing all that shit in while you're trying to fight your way through, you know, a crowd that's now burning shit around you and just looking for the first person to stare at them the wrong way.
And just understand, if you do buy all this gear, if you buy a gas mask, if you buy plate carriers and all these things, goes back to what we talked about earlier, you got to train with this stuff. Because people are going to buy gas masks probably, and they'll be like, throw it on, and they have no idea how to operate a rifle with it or do anything else with it.
So for me, I will say a handgun with a gas mask is, I think, fairly easy.
I would see that.
But now, yes, a rifle, God, oh God, I know y'all had to shoot. Y'all had to do. We did some rifle stuff with. Oh my God, that was the hardest thing. And see, for me, I wear. Tony, you wear glasses. Did you have those little inserts?
I did without them. I didn't wear mine.
Those inserts are really, really. See, I'm blind as a bat without mine. I'd have probably shot my foot off thinking I was aiming at the damn target. I'm telling you, I'm blind as a bat without my glasses, but they're so freaking small. You've got to get everything lined up just so you can freaking aim. It changes everything. A plate carrier, depending on your plate carrier, that's going to change how you shoulder your rifle. It's not going to be the same.
But this is, like I said, this people think they're going to buy all the gear in the world, and that they're going to, one, time to put it on, or two, that they're just going to, they're going to set it up, put everything on their plate carrier, gas mask, and fucking night vision, whatever, and they have no idea what they're doing. And then all of a sudden, they have to use it, and they wonder why their fucking draws getting caught up in their fucking plate carrier, the rifle's not sitting right, like all this shit. Because that's the first time they're trying to do shit with it.
And I'm a realist. I understand. There is a chance, depending on where I'm at, what's going on, all this, I might not be able to get to the rifle that I have in the safe under my back seat.
Same here.
But at least I've got my handgun. I've got a couple extra mags in the console. So, I mean, I do have something where I can address not a huge crowd, but if it were to be a crowd, I could address a good bulk of that crowd if I need to address a good bulk of that crowd.
What's the saying? Your pistol will get you to your rifle if need be.
Yep.
Again, don't want it. Don't want to do it. But again, I think this is an opportune time to talk about the Tactical Life Takedown MX 16 in 5.56. So go check them out.
Yes.
Yep. Now understand that
in fact
is not an answer to everything. It's just one answer to one problem.
Nope. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That takedown is chef's kiss. That thing is awesome.
But this is for the full size.
One of my favorite platforms.
This is one of the full size because I can't the number of hoops we have to jump through in New Jersey because you have to turn the short one into a non-NFA firearm. So there's a lot of bullcrap that goes along with it.
Right.
Using your brain is very, very important.
Yep. Well, and I mean, too, let's say you're on a budget. If you can't afford something like a takedown, you've got the Smith & Wesson FPC. Mm-hmm. That's a good alternative. And then you've also got the
Kel-Tec Sub 2000.
There it baby. Is. That's the one. That's the one. I mean, those are ones that can break down and fit into packs and stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of options out there.
You got the Ruger takedown?
Tony, you need to talk to the guys at High Point. High Point needs to make a takedown.
They got the whatchamacallit. They have the HP 15 now in pistol form with a 10.5 inch. Separate top, bottom. You just took it down, bro. I mean, that's one of the things I try to tell people. I'm like, separate the upper and the lower, put it together. Right. It's taken down. It's not as small as some of the other things, but again, these are sub $500 AR-15s.
Yep. So, I mean, that is a valid point. I mean, that is a way to break the gun down and take it with you.
Yeah.
Is to take the upper and the lower off. I mean, yes, there are tons of ways to do it depending on what you have, even putting a collapsible stock on it and different things like that. So there are a lot of options out there.
Also, there's the takedown. What is it?
But the
Ruger PC carbine is a takedown also. And Davis's have their exclusives that is actually designed to be taken down and storing its own stock. So this is a $900 option, but it's still an option. If we're talking firearms, and we're firearms guys, so that's what we're talking about. That's one way to do it. Again, the pistol thing with the stock, another thing, with the brace, another thing you can use. And truthfully, if worse comes to worse, get a pistol thing with a freaking stock. Listen, the reason you use it is because of lawlessness, dude. I mean, it's smarter to have the thing that's legal. So less trouble. But do what you got to do to get home.
Right. Yep.
Jaeger said it best, man. First, you got to win the fight. Jaeger said it best.
Yep.
First, you got to win the fight. Then you can worry about the legal fight. But you got to live to get there.
Yep.
100%.
Very true.
It's very true in that statement. Very true.
But it kind of goes back to what Tony's been talking about and having that plan. You know, are you wanting to take a gun? Where you lived, what kind of gun does it allow you to take with you? How many round magazines can you have? If you're down to a 10 round mag and you're somewhere like that, maybe you need 5 mags. Where if I've got a 15 round mag, maybe I just need 3 mags. I mean, those are things to consider as well too, is how much are you going to have with you depending on what's going on.
Here's another thing.
Having
I
that
just
plan
looked
is
it up.
important.
The PC Charger, which is a PC carbine with the pistol length barrel in it. You guys seen that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So
Yeah.
I think so.
having that and a folding brace gives you something that weighs about 6 pounds in your backpack. Overall length 16 inches. Don't get excited, Chris.
Well, see, that's the other thing. That group I had. No, you made me think of something.
Yeah, I know I did.
Clayton, did I ask you about them? You stupid. You stupid. It's so veiny.
So big.
I said
So
16 inches.
Matador Arms?
Yes. Matador Arms. And
I have heard of them.
Matador Arms, I actually worked with them before they sold. One of the guys they sold to, I was actually on stage with him at Goals last year. He's a former Marine. And they have is it the pistol? They're 9mm?
The Mat 9?
Yeah.
It's a Mat 9 upper is what they call it. So do you have one?
No.
Okay.
I'll be annoying them.
Well,
I'll be annoying them next month.
So no lie, dude, I do like this thing. I had never heard of
Dude.
it. They reached out to me about it. So essentially, you can take this upper, take your take a 9mm PCC lower, and essentially stick it straight on there. You don't have to take the buffer tube off. You don't have to take the buffer spring or any of that out, because all of this stuff is built almost like an AK. It's all internal.
Yeah,
You just put it on, and it takes Glock mags. I was like, dude, this thing is actually pretty cool.
Well, I want one now, damn.
And they have and they became roller delayed blowback, so it's not as much recoil as a regular standard blowback.
Dude, and a suppressor ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's right now on their website is $575.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very easy to break down. So I went and found I went and dug around and found a video showing how it's very easy to break down. Like, not even that hard to break down and clean. Like, this would be something I would like to have.
We're actually going to be talking about it on the show.
If you get one, Tony.
We're going to be talking about this on the show Tuesday. It's one of the firearms we're going to be talking about on Tuesday's Gun and Gear Review podcast.
No shit.
Yeah, so it's capable. It's Glock mags, 6R mags, Colt stick mags, MP5 mags, and CZ Scorpion mags.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, fuck me running.
Yeah.
Yeah, click on one of the pictures. It should bring it up.
Thinking of when you mentioned that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
You see the one with the MP5 lower?
Yeah.
There you go, baby.
I sure do. Dude.
Yeah. I thought that was, yeah. Because see, when they called me about it, the way they were explaining it to me, I was like, what in the hell are these people talking about?
When did they call you about it, Chris?
They called me a week before the class and was like, hey, we're thinking about swapping these lowers over. And I'm at Train and Learn when they called.
Oh, this is the class
yeah, this is a class I had after Train and Learn.
That you told me about. Okay.
Yeah. They called me like a week before, and I'm like, because the way they explained it, but once they got here and I saw it, I'm like, oh, okay. All they're doing is just you sit it on an AR lower or AR9 lower and have at it. But see, I think what they're wanting to do is with their platforms that they have is take the buffer tube off. And you put that cap in there where you can put like a foldable pistol brace on it. And I think that's what they're wanting to do. So I got to get with them and talk to them about it. But no, I thought it was really neat just the way it'll sit right there onto the lower without even having to take the buffer tube off or take out the buffer spring or any of that stuff.
Those are really great, especially if you can use, again, the same mag as your EDC, and they give you enough options that you can use your EDC pistol or just go straight Scorpion mags. Oh,
well, and that's what I'm thinking, because I run extended Glock mags. So, shit.
see, I'm stuck in Jersey where I got 10-round magazine regardless.
Yeah, you're new. It's okay, Tony. It's okay, Tony. We know you're neutered. It's okay.
It really sucks because think about it.
Hey, I think what I've got.
Chris, will you give Tony his balls back? Come on.
It really sucks. Because you get in that situation. Understand? Yes.
He's giving him a ball jacuzzi.
If I had a what?
A ball.
Oh Lord.
So
I can't see it.
I don't remember where I heard it, but they no. So no, we're definitely not going to show it. So they were asking this guy like, hey, it was a radio show. They're doing this little interview, this thing. I'm not going to get into all that, but so it's a radio show, and they're like, hey, tell us something interesting about yourself that we probably wouldn't know. And this dude's like, well, I like getting ball jacuzzis. And, I mean, everybody's like, wait a minute, what? So he proceeds to explain what the ball jacuzzi is you take warm water and put it in a bowl, and you sit your balls in there and let your girl or whoever you want blow bubbles into the water while your balls are in the water.
Tony, if you have a straw sitting by you, please, for the love of God, tell me you don't.
You're lucky. Oh, you're so lucky. Oh, you're so lucky. Oh, you're so lucky. Oh, dude. I left it. Hold on.
Is that your fucking CPAP? Is that the thing from your CPAP?
Sure is. He can do it himself.
Don't need no girl. Don't need one at all.
It's me and my CPAP. Me and my CPAP tuber and my balls. Oh, God.
Jacuzzi time.
Oh, the black carrot top strikes me.
Okay, Tony, I am a firm believer now. You have a freaking treasure chest with just random shit in it sitting next to you. I don't care what nobody says. Fuck it.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
What are 762 by 39 AR?
Oh, fuck.
762 by 39 AR.
Oh, me.
God. Holy shit.
Jesus.
Throwback patch?
Oh,
yeah, that
Christ.
one might get us there.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Hey, I've still got a lower in there with that PSA did with the Let's Go Brandon on it.
Nice.
Oh.
It's just sitting there in the safe.
I got one with Peanut the Squirrel on it.
Build something with it.
I got one with Peanut the Squirrel on it. I got to get it, though.
Nice. Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, man, I think we've had a good conversation here. I hope everybody can understand that the biggest thing I think to really take away from this is having a plan for that. If a riot were to break out, because like Tony said, yes, a peaceful protest can turn violent very quickly. Things can crack off very, very quickly in those situations because everything is volatile and it's going to be chaos no matter what it is. But whatever's part of your plan, whether it's a gun, a tire iron, or whatever, the biggest thing is to have a plan, understand how you need to get around, understand knowing and where you need to get around. Even if you move to a new area, look at, especially while nothing really bad's going on, pull up Google Maps and things like that and look at what options you have to be able to get around,
Right.
Big cities, or where there's going to be a problem, even if it's not a big city, but there's going to be a problem at this one place. What are my options to get around that?
All right.
And like what Clayton or Tony, whoever said it, having a paper map.
So how do you get a paper map? Because they used to sell them in gas stations. You know how you get a paper map? You pull a city up on Google and you print it. You print it yourself. You don't have to go buy one. Just print
that is one way to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And laminate it if you can.
Yeah.
Yep. Even if you can do topographical and showing elevation changes and things like that, those are things that are not bad to understand, depending on where you're going. Or am I going to have elevation changes? Because if there's a cliff coming up and that's the way you need to go, all right, now we've got to understand where we've got to move to get around, huge drop-offs and things like that.
Even in the city, that's good to know.
Training.
You can cut through yards. You don't have to stay on roads. You can cut through yards. You can cut through alleys. All that stuff. If you're driving a vehicle, yes, good. You know how to get around. Cool. But to pivot, be able to pivot, to be able to walk, to be able to go, okay, I can walk down this embankment and I'm on the highway. All right. I can walk down this embankment. I'm on the highway.
Right.
Then I go over the rail on the highway. I can walk through this backyard, by this swimming pool. I'm in a totally different neighborhood that has none of this crap going on. Because these things are usually limited in scope, especially LA. LA is limited and they're surrounded by police and they try to keep them in one spot. Keep it moving. Understand it's not like it used to be. These things, again, are spontaneous. They're planned. So as long as they usually plan it for one area to get the most reception, they want all the reporters around. They want all the cameras on it. This is not like LA riots that were all over the city. These things are set up to be media friendly and social media friendly so they can get the most bang for the buck. I said it today during the live. There's a reason when you think of LA riots, you think of the freaking dude with the Mexican flag on top of the car, and you think of the other guy on the motorcycle. If you take it and pull back from that picture, you'll see it look like a sea of photographers and media people around him. That's why you keep seeing it all over, because it was set up for that. Come on, dude. Look at the wind. Look at the wind on the flag, and the flag's opened all the way up and everything. It was like a staged picture. The flag raising at Mount Suribachi didn't have that much air floating on it, bro. And we made a monument of that.
Yep. Nope. You are very true, man. You're very, very true. So, I mean, they don't, and that's what is so crazy is a lot of the ones that are out there that are doing the protesting, the ones that they're protesting for and praising are the ones that aren't going to give a shit when they catch a felony for being out there. Do you really think they're going to go and pardon you once you get that felony because you were out there protesting it in their name or whatever you want to call it?
Now, as someone that's gone to protests, I've gone to Second Amendment protests. Totally have. I've spoken at Second Amendment protests. Keep in mind that there's a certain amount of danger involved. All right? Especially now the paid agitators have become this big thing. It could go south quick. Have a plan as a protester, have a plan as a observer, have a plan as somebody that lives in that city or moving through that city. No excuses. You've seen it happen. This is a replay of stuff we saw for 2 frickin' summers. Enough.
Well, and the other thing, too, is everybody wants that viral video. If you do see shit going down and it's going really bad, don't take your phone out and start recording because some people don't want their faces on that video because they know it's going to incriminate them. So no matter what side you're on, you become a target. So,
well, you're not only a target for that, you're a target for law enforcement because depending on what happens there, they could come take your phone and seize it.
Yep, because they could have it could have evidence on it. So,
hey, depend on what they do. Law enforcement might not want you to have evidence of them. Understand? They had
Well,
20.
gotta,
They had over 20
Right.
members.
you know,
They had over 20 members or people affiliated with the FBI in January 6th.
well, and look at some of these guys that have come with that one dude that caught the rubber round in the forehead. Oh, God. I felt bad for him, man. Oh, man, you could see the pain. But, I mean, yeah, that's another reason to avoid those situations because the cops aren't going to know if you're whose side you're on. If you're out there stuck in the middle of the mix, so it's going to depend on being able to avoid everything in general because you don't want to start getting hit with those freaking rubber rounds. Those things freaking hurt.
Yeah, Chris doesn't like rubbers.
Don't like rubbers.
Nobody likes him. Come on now.
No, I like it raw. Like it raw.
Like I like my steak.
Hey, Tony, you still need to push that suppressor deal?
Oh,
Where'd you go?
yeah. So, if you live in New Jersey and you have a
He's busy with
suppressor,
his ball koozie.
if you live in New Jersey and you have a suppressor, but you have to keep it out of state, please contact me or contact the NRA ILA rep in New Jersey with your name and your information. We're trying to get something started here. So we need people to sign up on lawsuits. Uh-oh.
Now, since we're talking about suppressors here, I'm going to add this in there too. Call your representatives. The switchboard number is going to be 202-224-3121. Call that number, and the Hearing Protection Act and the Short Act, tell them to do the right thing, get it passed. Call them and call them and call them.
Yes, very good point. I'm glad you brought that up. I'll make sure to have that phone number up on the screen
and
here as well, too.
I'll say it again. The phone number again is 202-224-3121. And don't be afraid to call them. Just be nice about it. Call them multiple times. Get it passed. Let's get this done. I know our good friend Jared, we're this close from potentially getting suppressors off the NFA. Let's make it happen.
That's a huge step right there.
So
Huge step. So, yes, make sure you're getting in touch with Tony. Make sure you're calling those numbers. I mean, this is the kind of stuff is where we start making a difference.
Yep.
So, make sure, I'll put Tony's information. How you want them to reach out to you? Through social media or doesn't matter?
Reach out to me social media. Simon Says Train and Instagram. The second is for everyone, or Tony Simon on Facebook. Hit me up on messages and all that. Instagram is probably the best one. Also, you can email me at simonsays.training@yahoo.com. simonsays.training@yahoo.com.
what about your OnlyFans?
That's
That's
Alabama Black Snake at OnlyFans.
Stick it in a bowl of oatmeal. And
All he wears is now we're giving him a mud bath, huh?
Damn.
And before we go, we'd like to thank our
But no.
sponsor, Vaseline Intensive Care. Thank you for tonight's show. Really appreciate it.
And Jif.
And Jeff, thank you. The ultimate peanut butter and jelly.
CPAP tubing for the ball koozie.
Jif and Vaseline, the ultimate peanut butter and jelly combo for your pleasure.
That's Chris's favorite. Fucking Chewbacca.
That's what he sounds like with the peanut butter and Vaseline.
God.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, Jesus. Is that Aeroflow?
That looks like it's off the ResMed. The same one I have.
Which one is that? Is that Aeroflow or ResMed?
ResMed.
But no, this has been a good. It's bad when you know this stuff. But no, this has been a good conversation. I hope everybody just really the big thing to take away for everybody is is make sure you have a plan for these situations. Whatever it might be, you never know what it's going to happen. If you can avoid it, avoid it. If you can't avoid it, understand your laws, know what you can do and what you can't do. That's the biggest thing. Is so really, I would say have a plan, get you some training, so you can then the training will help you fine tune that plan to make sure it's where it needs to be. So when something does happen, you're not frozen with a deer in the headlights.
Absolutely. Keep your head on a swivel.
Real
Exactly.
quick, I'll throw this out there
I hope
too.
everybody.
If you
Yep,
have a
go ahead.
plan, everybody around you is going to be panicking if the crap hits the fan because they don't know what to do. The way not to get caught in that panic is to have your own plan and to practice, or at least your skill sets that you know, so you won't panic too. That's why it's also important to do this. You're not going to pull everything out of your butt at that time because you got people around you screaming and going nuts, not knowing what to do. You have to do it. They can follow,
Exactly.
but that ain't your problem.
Yep. Yep. Nope. Exactly. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the episode. I hope everybody has a good night, and we will see you next time.
Epstein didn't kill himself.